right, you guys, let's get this thing started. Like I said, I want to first of all congratulate each and every one of you for taking such a positive step in changing your financial situation by not only getting involved in Youngevity, but actually being here tonight. Now, my goal here tonight, in just an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes or so, guys, I want to make sure you realize how big this opportunity is. Because, you know, a lot of people get in this thing and they're like, oh, I'm just going to supplement my income. I just want to make a little bit of money here. But guys, as big as you think this opportunity is, I want you to add a zero. Just add a zero. If you're sitting there going, I just want to make an extra $1,000 a month, sorry, you're going to have to make 10 grand. If you want to make an extra 10 grand, you're going to make an extra 100. If you want to make an extra $100,000 a month, because I know there are people in this room who want to do that, sorry, you're going to have to make $1 million. That's how big this opportunity is. And guys, when I got involved in this industry 22 years ago, I was wide-eyed, and you know, everybody that I signed up was going to be the next $1 million earner, and I figured that I would probably make my first $1 million, and you know, it'll take me 30 days or so to get that done. Can any of you relate to that? Okay? And I'll tell you what, you guys, I got in, and I struggled, and I struggled, and I struggled, and I struggled. Let me know when you can relate. And I struggled, and I struggled, and I struggled, okay? It took me a very long time to get anything started in my business. But I was persistent, okay? Because I had met people who were making more in a month than I was making in a year. And I just said to myself, I don't know how they're doing it, but I'm going to figure it out. Somehow, some way, I'm going to figure it out. Well, the other thing that happened to me very, very early on in my business was I'd get a few people in, and the problem that I had is I was working with the wrong people. I found myself working with the wrong people. I found myself working with people who I wanted it more for them than they wanted it for themselves. Do you know what I'm talking about? In other words, guys, if you brought me into the business, if you were more dissatisfied with my life than I was, it's not going to work. And that's what I found myself doing. I found myself trying to drag people across the finish line of success. I was working with the wrong people. You know, today I'm the complete opposite of that. You know, I work with Ted and Nasima. I work with Barb Pitcock, Barb and Dave. I work with the top money earners in this business today. And you're sitting there going, well, Steve, they don't need your help. No, they really don't. But they bring crowds. They bring a lot of people together. You know, not that I'm going to blow somebody off, but guys, when I bring somebody in the business today, I flat out tell them, for every step that you take, I'll take 2. But you have to take the first one. Because I'm not going to push, pull, or drag, or spend any of my positive energy trying to remotivate people back into my business. Now, the one thing that I found out from those groups of people that were real negative is that early on, people would come up to me and they would have every excuse in the book why this business wasn't working for them except the reflection in the mirror. And I couldn't handle that. You know, people would come up to me and they'd say, well, Steve, you know, I could work this business, or I could make this business work if the company had this, if the company had that, if we were open in this country, if we were open in this state, then I could do it. And I said to myself, I am going to eliminate all of the excuses. So very, very early on, you guys, in my business, I always made sure that the people in my group had a presentation that they could tap into. All right, meaning, I was going to say a DVD, but back in 1990, we didn't have DVDs. We had a VHS tape, you know. Everybody had access to a presentation where they could just push play. They had access to a weekly business presentation where all they had to do was just show up, never had to get up in front of the room, but they could bring guests. They always had access to a training class every single week. They had access to conference calls. They had access to everything that they needed to build a multi-million-dollar organization. Nobody could come up to me and say, well, Steve, if the company had, no, we have that. Well, if the company had, well, no, we have that too. I wanted to eliminate all of the excuses. Now, I took that same philosophy over here to Youngevity when we put together this simple system, quick start guide. Now, I know a lot of you in this room have this, but guys, this right here is probably the best marketing piece that I have ever seen in network marketing. This little piece right here could literally fall off the back of a truck somewhere. Somebody could pick it up, read through it, and go build a multi-million-dollar organization. All of the excuses are taken away with this little quick start guide right here. Now, when you buy, say, let's say you bought a new computer this week, and when you open up the box, you see the owner's manual, and then you see the quick start guide. What do you always reach for first? The quick start guide. Why? Because you like pictures. Red goes to red, blue goes to blue, green goes to green. That's what this is. Guys, all of the information, in this guide is what I have done over the past 22 years. Now, I'm not going to take credit for the design of this piece. That is Vanessa Hunter and her team in the marketing department at Youngevity. She does a fabulous job. But this piece right here, somebody could literally take this and go step 1, step 2, step 3, and it's a duplicatable piece. Everybody can follow the steps in this quick start guide, and they can go build as big of an organization as they can possibly build. Now, you don't need this tonight, okay? But I'm going to walk through this a little bit tonight. I'm going to skip through a few things. But if you open it up, and like I said, you don't need this, but if you open it up, the very first inside cover piece right here, the very first thing that I talk about in this quick start guide are goals. Our goals. I am a huge goal setter. I'm a believer that if you don't know what you're aiming at, how in the world can you hit it? I'm a huge believer in goals. Guys, if you don't know why you're building your Youngevity business, the rest of it doesn't even matter, okay? You've got to sit down with your family and you've got to figure out why you're building your Youngevity business. Set your goals together, write them down, encourage each other. And when you set a goal and you hit it, set another one, and set another one, set another one, set another one. Way back in September or August of 1990, when I was first introduced to this business, my original goal was to supplement my teaching income by $200 a month. Because that's what my car payment was. My car payment was $203 a month, and my wife Colleen said, her exact words were, if we could just get a free car out of this thing, we thought that'd be terrific. Well, guys, we started to do that pretty quick. Okay, to make $200 a month, it's like, okay, we're doing that pretty quick. So then we said, okay, if we can make enough money to make our car payment, maybe we can make enough money to make our house payment. Not only are we driving for free, but let's try to live for free. Well, sure enough, after a few more months, it's like, okay, we're making enough money to make our car payment and our house payment. Well, then Colleen said, maybe we can make enough money so that I can stay home with the kids. I've got 3 kids, all boys except 2 girls. It's way too late for that, isn't it? It's too late for that. I know. And you guys heard this before, so laugh when you're supposed to, okay? At the time, we just had Megan and Emily, and I'm going to introduce you to these kids in just a second. So sure enough, after about a year, Colleen left her teaching position. Well, guys, then I got a little jealous, and I said, if we can make enough money so that you can stay home, maybe we can make enough money so that I can stay home. And sure enough, about a year and a half later, I left my teaching position. But you guys, in the back of my mind, my ultimate goal was to make $5,000 a month. I thought to myself, if I could ever get to a point where I'm making $5,000 a month, that would be like nirvana. That'd be the ultimate. Why? Because that's coming from somebody who used to make $23,000 a year as a school teacher, now to make $60,000 and not have to answer to anybody? Come on. How could it get any better than that? A lot better. You guys, it can get a lot better. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you set a goal and you hit it, set another one, set another one, set another one, set another one. Here's a challenge for you guys tonight. Sometime in the next 7 days, go test drive your dream car. Just go test drive it. There's a reason that those salesmen, those salespeople in those car dealerships want you in those cars. Because if you go test your dream car and you smell the leather and you hear the sound system and you just feel the ride and how quiet it is, you'll figure out how to get it. you will figure out a way to buy that car. It's the old theory, if you don't want a dog, don't pet a puppy. You're going to end up with a dog. Okay? So my challenge to you guys is, go drive your dream car. All right? Go test drive your dream car. Sit down with your family and figure out why you're building your business. Now, the reason that I start with this, and the reason I'm so adamant about goals, is because I was on my way to St. Louis one day to do a meeting very similar to this, okay? And first of all, let me introduce you to my family, okay? I've got 3 kids. All right, this is Megan, this is Emily, and this is Mike. You guys didn't know I had kids that young, did you? I don't. Here's what they look like today. Such a kidder, aren't I? All right, so there's Emily, there's Megan, and I probably don't have to tell you which one was Mike, did I? Okay? All right, well, this was a while ago, because this little girl right here, she might have been about this age here, too. When Emily was 8 years old, I was on my way to do a meeting very similar to this in St. Louis. And literally, as I was walking out of the house to go to the airport, that little girl, Emily, came up to me and she said, "Can't those stupid people in St. Louis do it themselves?" Don't laugh. She said it about you guys, too. Yeah, no, just kidding you. Not that Emily had anything against the people in St. Louis, okay? But it was a little girl's way of crying out, wondering why Dad had to go to St. Louis. And I told Colleen from that point forward, I said, we have to involve these kids in our business. We have to involve them. This has to be a family affair. When I got involved in this business 22 years ago, okay, Megan was 1. It's the only world my kids have ever known. Today, Megan is 23. She's a second-year law student at Marquette University. Go Dwayne Wade. Emily is a senior at the University of Wisconsin in the nursing department. And Mike is 19, or Emily just turned 22, okay? And the girls are 22 or 23 months apart. And Mike is a sophomore at the University of Wisconsin, has no clue what he wants to do, and that's okay. I'm a professional check writer today is what I am, okay? Well, we decided that we had to involve these kids in our business. And so every New Year's Eve from that day forward, we got together as a family and we said, okay, what do you guys want to get out of the business for the upcoming year? Emily, what do you want? Mike, what do you want? Megan, what do you want to get out of this business? Colleen, what do you want to get out of the business? And I'm going to tell you guys something. The girls are nuts. The girls were crazy. The girls are crazy. I mean, even at this young age, they're like, Dad, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Disney World for a month. I want to go to Europe. And they're going all this crazy stuff. And I said, well, Mike, what do you want? And one year, Mike looks at me and he goes, I need a new skateboard. You tell me who I love the most, right? You tell me who I love the most. Well, guys, as the years went on, what I want to get out of the business got a lot bigger. And as we created more money and more income and bigger, and just, guys, this thing exploded for us. And I'll explain that as we go. But one time, and this was actually Mike's idea here, this little guy. One year, Mike said, because we're a huge traveling fan. We travel all over the world. We have a great time together. In fact, we're going on vacation this weekend, and we're going to head up to Shoreview, Minnesota for a wedding. So I'll see you guys back here over the weekend, all right? But one year, Mike said, you know, Dad, why don't we, because we travel so much, why don't we do it in style? And I'm going, what do you mean in style? Well, this is what he meant. So we decided to go out and get this. Okay? Now, let me make it perfectly clear that I do not own this, okay? But we have access to it. It's an executive lease type of thing. Ted, you don't buy these things. I mean, those things, that's a $40 million jet. I mean, it costs about $4,000 an hour to fly that thing, okay? So it's ridiculous to go buy it, but you have access to it. This plane right here comes with its own flight attendant. You don't think that's stupid, as dumb as I think it is? We can't go get our own Cokes. Are you serious? Okay? But when we travel overseas, this is what we would take. I take a group of guys to Myrtle Beach every year, and we play golf. There's 8 of us that go to Myrtle Beach every year, and we call it the Riderless Cup. Those of you who play golf, you understand that. Those of you who don't, you don't get it, all right? But we decided that we're going to travel in style. Guys, my kids have been all over the world. Guys, we've ended up in places that I had no chance of seeing on a school teacher's salary. That is a sunny day in London. But on the other hand, that is a sunny day in Hawaii. And this is a hazy day in China. Guys, like I said, my kids have been all over the world because of this little pyramid thing. Have your friends told you that? How's that little pyramid thing going? You driving a pink Cadillac yet? You guys have all heard it, haven't you? Okay? This projector's not that great, so the color's not that great on this. But this was a couple of years ago. Mike was down in Ghana. He was down in Africa just volunteering. It wasn't a mission trip or anything. He went online, found a group on Facebook, and went, I'm going. I'm like, let's go. Worried that sick for a month, but that's okay. My daughter Emily, this was literally over the summer. She just got back about 6 weeks ago. She was down in Africa, and this is in Swaziland. And she was down there for a month, and the first 2 weeks, she volunteered at this orphanage. And then the second 2 weeks, she just had a good time. But before she left, I actually had to have this conversation with that little girl back there. I actually had to sit her down, and I said to her, do not bring home a child. Because she would have. Her and Angelina are tight, okay? She wanted to bring home one of these kids. Actually, I had to have that conversation with you. You guys are a tough crowd, let me tell you that. You guys are a tough crowd. All right, look at this picture. You guys, she's petting cheetahs in her flip-flops. She called me that night and she goes, Dad, well, that was kind of cool. Something magic. She called me that night and she said, Dad, she goes, they're like big house cats. She said, they purr. I'm like, I'll take your word for it, baby. I'll take your word for it. All right? Now, obviously, these are, I don't know if you could ever call these animals tame, but these were obviously tame. Look at the next picture. They went on a safari, okay? I want you to look at the girl. Look when you see the picture, look at her expression. Emily took the picture, but look in the background. Can you see it? Look at that guy. That cat is ready to pounce. That is not a cheetah from the previous slide. Look at her face. Can you please just keep driving? Just please keep driving. Okay? Look at this picture. That's Mufasa right there. Emily said that cat was literally 10 yards away. I mean, you're talking from here to the wall away from her. And what they were told is that if you notice in the previous picture, is that these are open-air Jeeps. And these cats and all the other animals, they see the entire vehicle as something that they're not going to be able to bring down. So they were told, do not stand up, don't raise your arms up, because if you raise your arm up, the cat goes, I can get that. Okay? Here are Emily's new friends. Oh, cool. Guys, it's just unbelievable experiences because of this business. All right? Do you know how elephants die? Anybody know how elephants die? They have no natural enemies except man. Do you know how they die? They starve to death. They starve to death. Isn't that sad? They wear their teeth down so much over the years that they starve to death. Now, they live to be 300 because they're on 90 for life. Okay? How many of you knew Africa looked like that? It's a pretty cool picture, isn't it? Pretty cool? Now, like I said, this was just over the summer. But guys, over Christmas last year, she was here. She was here. So she went from Australia to Africa in 6 months. And if you go to Australia, where else do you have to go? New Zealand. You have to go to New Zealand because that's where they invented bungee jumping. That is my sicko daughter right there. Right? I hope you guys have a chance to meet those 3 kids. They are a blast. They are so, I may be a bit biased, but they are so much fun. And Emily is a complete daredevil. She is a complete daredevil. Now, the next picture that I'm going to show you is my house. And this is a house that we designed 8 years before we built it. Now, I was doing this presentation, oh my gosh, where was I? I was in Hays, Kansas with the Pitcocks. And I showed this picture, and the lady in the front row, she goes, wow, that's in Wisconsin? And I'm looking at her going, what? She made it sound like we just got running water last week or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? I would have said that about Kansas. Wouldn't you have said that? That's in Kansas? All right. So that's obviously the front. That's what it looks like from the back. We had no idea, you guys, how we were going to pay for this. We just said, all right, let's just design this thing. Let's put everything in it we want. The kitchen in the basement was as nice as the kitchen upstairs. I mean, it had everything. It had absolutely everything. And so we said, all right, let's go. And same thing. We designed it, and then we figured out how to get it. We figured out how to go make it happen. Well, one day, you know, during our, hey, what do you want to get out of the business, Mike came up to me and he said, hey, Dad, this is great and everything, but let's go get a house on the lake. And I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Let's go get a house on the lake. It's super expensive. I don't want to drive to northern Wisconsin, blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right. So what we decided is that we went out and bought this, which is only 3 miles away from the house you just saw. So if we wanted to go to the lake, we just drove across town to go to this house. And that's our front yard. I've got more boats than the Canadian Navy. Okay? Now, the reason that I'm showing you all of this is I don't want you to sit here and go, my God, it's Steve's slideshow hour. That's not it. I want you to realize how big this is. This is way bigger than you think it is. It's way bigger than just supplementing your income on the side. It's way bigger than when the naysayers say to you, you're nuts, you're crazy, it's never going to work, don't quit your day job. Because the people who tell you no in this business, they're not going to make your house payment for you. They're not going to make your car payment for you. They're not going to educate your kids. They're not going to send you on the kind of vacations you want to go on. They're certainly not going to pay for the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. So why in the world would you listen to them? And chances are the people that are telling you no are broke. Don't take financial advice from people you don't want to be like financially. Hang around successful people and do what they do. What I wanted to do with you guys here tonight is just expand your vision. Just expand your vision. I'm going to tell you stories tonight. My vision was expanded just, there's a gentleman by the, first of all, guys, I started off back in August of 1990 with a company called Excel Communications. It was a telecom company based in Dallas, Texas, all right? Well, one of the executive vice presidents of that company, his name was Steve Smith. Now, Steve had a beautiful ranch down in Texas, just outside of San Antonio. And now this wasn't just a ranch. I mean, he had zebra on his ranch. I mean, it's a big deal. And Steve used to take us golfing, but we got to the golf course in his helicopter. What? How do you guys get to the golf course? I mean, it's just stupid stuff, right? Well, we were invited to his ranch, and there's probably a group of about 30 of us. And one day, there's 5 or 6 of us guys. We were with Steve in his house, and we were just talking about his helicopter. And Steve was talking about getting a new helicopter. You know, and he's going through these catalogs. He's looking at color schemes, you know, cloth versus leather versus turbo, all this kind of stuff. Well, later that night, we were sitting around a campfire. And Steve and his wife, Sarah, were sitting on one side of the fire, and my wife, Colleen, and I were sitting on the other side. And very innocently, I said to Steve, so when do you think you're going to get your new helicopter? And his wife, Sarah, spun around and looked at him and said, we're getting a new helicopter? Now, you know that you've made it when you can buy a new helicopter and not tell your spouse. That's when you know you've made it, okay? So I would hang around people like Steve Smith. This guy today is worth $800 million. I hung around people like Kenny Trout, okay? Kenny Trout is worth $1.3 billion. And these guys would expand my vision. and expanded my vision to a point where I said, I want this stuff. I have no idea how I'm going to get there, but if I hang around people who've already done it, I'll figure it out. So I want you guys to realize how big this is. It's not just that little thing you do on the side. This is big, 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 big money. Now, I know everybody in this room wants to be happy, everybody wants to be healthy, everybody wants to be reasonably prosperous. I've met a few people in here tonight who want to be unreasonably prosperous. That's okay. And guys, I get this. I understand that money's not everything. I get that, okay? Follow me on this. Not having any money is not the way to go either. I love the kind of lifestyle that this industry has afforded me and my family, but it takes money to do that, right? I also love what money can't buy. Guys, money can buy you a house, but it can't buy you a home. Money can buy you a bed, but it can't buy you a good night's sleep. Money can buy you a good time, but it can't buy you peace of mind. Somebody said to me one time, this cute little lady, this was years ago, she came up to me afterwards and she said, Steve, you got to be careful because money brings out the evil in people. It says so right there in the Bible. No, the love of money is the root of all evil. I truly believe that if you are a good person and you have money, you'll do good things. If you're a drunk and you have money, you'll upgrade your liquor. You'll upgrade your liquor. You can laugh, it's okay. It really is okay. All right? I want you guys to realize how big this opportunity is. Now, this is all great, but you have to believe that it can work for you. Guys, we as leaders of our own organizations, we have got to truly, truly understand how this belief chart works. Okay? Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, this represents excitement. And going across the bottom, that represents the number of people that you talk to. Now, when people get involved in our business, okay, think about the day that you guys actually got involved in Youngevity. Okay, the day that you actually got into the system was a day that you're pretty excited about the program. Would you agree? Well, think about it. It's not that tough to get excited about what we're doing. You start talking about where the company has been, where the company is going. You talk about the bonuses being paid to infinity. You talk about international expansion, publicly traded company. It's not that tough to get excited about what we're doing. So when most people get in, their excitement level is at a 9.5 or maybe even a 10. But there's one problem. You haven't talked to anybody yet. So you take your #1 prospect, the person who's going to make you $1 million, and you go explain to them what Youngevity is all about. And after you get done explaining how the whole program works, what does that person come back to you and say? You've got to be kidding me. Don't tell me you got involved in one of those pyramid deals. What makes you think this is going to work? You've never known anybody to make this work. You've never made anything like this work. As a matter of fact, you've been a bum pretty much your entire life. Why don't you go out and get a real job? And you say, but Mom, take it easy on me, right? And your excitement level then drops to about a 7. But you're nervous because you've got money invested. Some of you have $300, $400, $500 invested. And you say to yourself, okay, I at least have to get my money back. So being the unbelievably great motivator that you are able to pump yourself back up to about an 8. Well, now you take the next name on your list, and that person shoots you down just as bad as the first person did. Well, after Dad gets done with you, your excitement level then drops to about a 3. And now you are in danger of falling off the chart. Why? Because you're not that excited about that pyramid vitamin deal anymore, because these people back here are telling you that it doesn't work. You know what most people do now? You know what most people do at this point? They don't quit yet. They call their sponsor. They call the person who got them into this thing. And the conversation goes something like this. I'll get a phone call and they'll say, hey, listen, Steve. Listen, man, I don't think this thing is going to work. Yeah, I've talked to everybody I know. Yeah, and they both told me no. I don't think it's going to work. And so your sponsor sort of cuddles you a little bit and says, now listen, you're going to run across people who tell you that you're nuts and you're crazy, then things never going to work. You just have to learn to overcome some of that. So being the unbelievably great motivator and friend your sponsor is, your sponsor's able to pump you way back up to about a 3.5. Now, if you had a good sponsor, look to your left, look to your right. If you had a good sponsor, your sponsor would take you and say, let's go. You're coming with me. And that's exactly what happens. You and your sponsor go have lunch with the next name on your list. Throughout the course of lunch, you explain what the opportunity is all about. Once you get done explaining what the program is all about, your prospect looks at you and says, this is nuts. I'm in. Now, I should come in with that $3.99 package, right? And you're going, that's a really good idea. And your excitement level then jumps back up to a 9.5 or a 10. And you're saying to yourself, this is really going to work. I'm going to drive this kind of car. I'm going to live in this kind of house. I'm going to send my kids to these schools. I'm going to send the kind of money that I want to my favorite church or charity. This thing's really going to work. These people back here, they don't know what they're talking about. This thing's going to work. So then you take the next name on your list, and that person shoots you down just as bad as your parents did. And your excitement level, perfect, thank you. And your excitement level then drops to about a 5. Well, you know what happens right about now in your Youngevity career? This person right here, the person who signed up on the spot, the person who was going to set the world on fire, they don't do anything. Now, I know you guys don't have that problem up here in the cities. But in Wisconsin, heads up, you guys. They don't do anything, okay? They've never even opened their products. They've never been to a training class. They've never been to a business presentation. They've never gotten on any of the conference calls. You pull in the driveway, the lights are on, you knock on the door, the lights go out. Right? They don't do anything. And your excitement level then drops to a 1 or a 2. And once again, you are in danger of falling off the chart completely. Well, you know what most people do now? They justify why it's okay to quit. They justify why it's okay to quit. They sit back and they say, well, you know what, I got a pretty nice house. My house is nicer than that guy's house. My car, it's old, but it's paid for. Nothing wrong with a 78 Pacer. Right? My job, hey, I got to go to work at 4 o'clock in the morning, but at least it pays the bills. Working 60, 70 hours a week, but hey, who isn't anymore? I went to this meeting and this guy from Wisconsin's up in front of the room telling us why we should build the business. That stuff's materialistic. I don't believe in that stuff anyways. And they justify why it's okay to quit. If you guys don't get anything out of this very short little session we're having tonight, please get this. And that is, in our business, you will either make money or you will make excuses. But you can never make both. You can never make both. This right here is the emotional roller coaster that every single person in Youngevity will go through. Do you guys see yourself on that chart somewhere? How many of you were supposed to have people at this meeting here tonight that just didn't show up? Let me see your hands. Come on, be proud. Keep your hands up high. Okay, keep your hands up high. Okay, everybody crowd in a little bit. They're not coming. They're not coming. Well, maybe some of you are looking at my chart and maybe you're getting a little bit excited. Because you look at this chart and you say, okay. The key to success in Youngevity then is to just keep people excited. If we can just keep people excited, we win. Wrong answer. Because that's like spinning plates. You know how they spin plates in the circus? You know, you get somebody going, somebody going, somebody going, somebody going, somebody going, somebody going, and all of a sudden you step back and you go, oh my gosh, my business is flying. And then all of a sudden this person over here, they start to wobble. Their best friend told them that they're nuts. So you got to try to pump them back up. This person over here, shipping, lost their order. Can you get me a tissue, please? We've had people quit this business because shipping lost their order. It's crazy. You think that person wasn't looking for an excuse to get out? Okay? All of a sudden, wobble, 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 crash, 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 and you step back and you say to yourself, man, all I'm doing is spinning my wheels too. And then you justify why it's okay to quit. See, there is another line on this chart. And for most people, it starts off at a 1 or a 2. And unfortunately for most people, it stays at a 1 or a 2. Now this is the critical line because this is the belief line. This is a belief in the company. This is a belief in the system. This is a belief in the idea. But most importantly, it's a belief in you, that you can actually go out there and make this work. The belief line is critical because the belief line acts like gravity. See, you can be absolutely giddy about Youngevity. You can have an excitement level of a 10. But if you don't actually believe that it's going to work, it's going to pull you down, pull you down, pull you down, pull you down until you sit back and say, you know what? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. The key to success in our business is to somehow, some way, get your belief level moving up. You guys have got to do whatever it takes to get your belief level moving up. How many of you have gotten a check from Youngevity? That will help your belief level. How many of you have been to our national convention? Or a national convention? Okay? That will help your belief level. Coming to meetings like this, maybe meeting me, maybe meeting some of the other top income earners, that will help your belief level. You guys have got to do whatever it takes to get your belief level moving up. Because once your belief level is at a 9.5 or a 10, it's over. Guys, it is over. It is over. I dare somebody to tell me that Youngevity doesn't work. I dare you to tell me that. I dare you to tell me that Shackley doesn't work. I dare you to tell me that Amway doesn't work. I dare you to tell me that Mary Kay doesn't work. Billion-dollar companies, all in our industry. This thing works like crazy. Now, this isn't to say that you're not going to have good days and bad days with your Youngevity business, because you will. The difference is that if you have a bad day and your excitement level is at a 5, so what? So what? Look where your belief level is. It acts like gravity. It's going to pull you up, pull you up, pull you up, pull you up, until you look at this person right here and say, ha, it's your loss. See, guys, this business is mental. It's mental. Everybody look at your hands. Just everybody look at your hands real quick. Just look at them. Nobody has any calluses from working their Youngevity business, right? This business is mental. The mental attitude that I have when somebody tells me no, Steve, I don't want to be your customer. No, I don't want to become a rep. As a matter of fact, Steve, I really don't even like you. You know what my mental attitude is? Good. I didn't want to work with you anyway. Hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, I could tell you were going to be a super loser rep. Now, I don't say that, but that's what I'm thinking. Because you guys, if you don't develop that mental toughness, the first no that you get, you'll melt. The very first no that you get, you will melt. This business is mental. Some will, some won't. So what? So what? Some waiting. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining, start working. SW, 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 SW. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining, start working. You don't need a lot of people, you guys. Don't think you have to go out there and sponsor hundreds of people into this business. Look at the example I showed you in the business presentation. 4 who get 4, who get 4, who get 4, 6 levels deep. That's just the residual. Not even talking about coding or fast starts or quick start bonuses. Who cares if somebody tells you no? Who cares? Talk to somebody tomorrow. Who are you going to talk to the next day? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Now, when you have a bad day, don't tell anybody. Because 20% of the people don't care, and the other 80% are happy for you. Are happy for you. All right. Now, I just spent about 45 minutes with you guys, and I haven't even mentioned Youngevity, have I? I haven't told you anything about the comp plan. I haven't told you anything about the products. I haven't told you anything about this business yet, because it doesn't matter. I've just spent the last 45 minutes trying to keep your head in the game. It's all about your head in the game. Guys, I know nothing about the products. I literally know nothing about these products. All I know is that Dr. Wallach says I'm supposed to take this. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what it is. Okay? But I'm supposed to take this. And because I'm really active and I have joint pain, and I'm supposed to take glucogel and eat a lot of eggs. That's all I know. That's all I know. Okay? You too? It's the same deal. It's like, oh, okay, eat eggs and swallow glucogel like they're Tic Tacs. Okay? We don't have to know about the product. I've made millions of dollars, you guys, not knowing anything about long distance or these products. I don't know anything about them. We don't have to be the expert. Dr. Wallach has already done the work. All right? Dr. Harris has already done the work. They've already done the work. All we have to do is just go, okay, I'll take that. I'm going to tell somebody else to take that. We don't have to know anything about the product. What I have to teach you is to keep you in the game. I have to keep you in the game long enough to let the law of large numbers take effect. Because you're going to get beat up. When you guys walk outside this door tonight, you're going to get beat up. Look around here. We're family in this room. We're hugs and kisses for everybody. But when you walk outside these doors, people are going to tell you that you're nuts, that you're crazy, that the thing is never going to work. And the question is, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to deal with it? Are you going to look at me when that happens and say, I want to be like Steve. I want to be like Ted and Nasima. I want their lifestyle. I want to do what they're doing. I'm going to listen to them as opposed to broke Uncle Bob. Because I really don't want to be like broke Uncle Bob financially. I just spent the last 45 minutes trying to keep your head in the game and making sure you understand how big this is. We don't have to be the experts, you guys. I'm going to jump on an airplane tomorrow, and I'm going to fly back to Milwaukee. I have no clue how that plane flies. I have no idea. In fact, I'm going to get in a car, drive back to my hotel tonight, and I have no clue how that car works. But I'm going to drive it anyways. When I get on that plane, I have no idea what keeps it from falling out of the sky. But somebody does. And I'm going to trust those people who know how to fly it. That's how I feel about these products. And I guarantee you, there are some people in this room who know everything about those products. And if I ever get to that point, I'm not going to tell you. Because then you'll start asking me questions about the products, and I feel like I have to answer them. I don't know anything about them. Just take them and you're going to feel better. That's what I know. And tell other people to do the exact same thing. Guys, when you take a look at our compensation plan, I will stack our compensation plan up against anybody's comp plan in the entire industry. We win. With the message that we have, the 90 for Life message, with this compensation plan, come on. Come on. We should all be in a situation where it says, I'll work with you, I'll work with you, I'll work with you. No, I don't want to work with you. We should be able to pick and choose who we want to work with. That's how good our program is. That's how good this deal is. All right? But if you take a look at the top 4, leadership coding bonuses, the card bonuses, the global revenue sharing pool, and then the stock options rewards, you don't get any of this unless you're CEO qualified. If you don't come in with that CEO package, $399.95 one time, you don't get paid these bonuses. Now, I know some of you are looking at me with daggers right now going, come on, Steve, it's $400. No, it's not. Watch this. When you guys come in with that CEO package, okay, $399.95, of that $399.95, okay, you are getting $115 worth of product. Okay, I'm assuming you're coming in, I'm just using the Healthy Start Pack here, okay? $399.95 includes $115 worth of product. Guys, if you came in for $10 or if you came in for $50, you're going to buy product anyway. You're going to buy product anyway. If any of you came in for $10 and didn't buy the product, I would give you your $10 back. Because I'd look at you and say, Steve, why? It's like buying a Costco membership and never walking through the door. It's like, here, take it, go. I don't need this. Go, goodbye. Okay? So you're going to buy the product anyway. So when you come in for $399.95, that includes $115 worth of product. So no longer is it a $400 decision. It is now a $285 decision. Now, for $285 one time in your entire Youngevity career, that qualifies you for the leadership coding bonuses, the global revenue sharing pools, the stock options rewards, and the car bonuses. One time. And guys, when you get to that senior executive marketing director position and you get yourself silver Mercedes car bonus qualified, you're going to get a $300 monthly car bonus. If you qualify for that car bonus once, just 1 month, you completely pay for your CEO package. Guys, to me, this is a complete no-brainer. It's a complete no-brainer. Because if you follow the steps of the Simple System Quick Start Guide, you're going to make a heck of a lot more than $400 in your first month. You're going to make a heck of a lot more than $400. Okay? Now, I don't tell anybody that they can get in the business for $10. I don't tell anybody that. I never tell people they can sign up for $10. And I just cringe when I hear people do that. Because if you guys told me about this business and said it was $10 to get in, and then I found out about this later, I would fire you as my sponsor. I would look at you and say, what are you doing? Why don't you want me to get paid these bonuses here? Oh, I don't know. Let me decide if $400 is a lot of money. Guys, I never tell anybody they can get in for $10. Now, for legal reasons, we have to show it in our business presentation. You saw how I handled that. You can read. I skipped right over it, didn't I? Start at 400, settle for 10. Start at 400, settle for 10. If somebody says to me, Steve, I just don't have the money. I don't have $400. I said, well, here's the deal. I'm going to get you in tonight for $100. You're going to get a sample of some of our most popular products, and I'm going to get you started. Steve, I don't even have $100. And I look at him and say, all the more reason you need to do this, right? Yeah. All right, I'm going to get you in for $10 right now. I'm going to get you in the system. Here's your quick start guide. We're going to build it as if you came in with the CEO package. But you have to promise me the first $400 that you make, you're going to reinvest it back into your business. Because these bonuses are going to be paid to someone that somebody needs to be you. So those of you who are not CEO qualified, as soon as customer service opens tomorrow, call an upgrade. Get yourself upgraded. And I know I'm preaching to the choir in this room because I know almost all of you are CEO qualified. But I want you to see how I explain it to somebody. Okay? I show them it's $400. Guys, where in the world can you start, own, and operate your very own business, make the kind of money that I just shared, help people on the health side with the products that we have to offer for $400? Traditional business, you can't turn the lights on in traditional business for $400. It's ridiculous. Sometimes I wish this business cost 10 grand to get in. People would take it more seriously. You know, it's like $10. That's why, oh, I've only got $10 invested in it. That's okay. It's like, no. It's $400 to get in. Sort of kind of makes sense? Okay? All right. Guys, make sure that you have your tools. When I said that you don't have to be the expert, this right here is the best brochure that we have. This is the best brochure that we have. The 90 Essentials for Life brochure, you open it up and it has whatever hurts, you can find out what Dr. Wallach recommends. The Dead Doctors Don't Lie CDs, go to www.yteamtools.com to pick that stuff up. That brochure, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD. Make sure that you have your Healthy Start Pack brochures. if you want the 90 for Life business presentation, the same presentation that you saw tonight, minus all the Packer stuff, right here. Okay? Go to www.90forlifemall.com and you can pick that up there. If you have not ordered your 90 for Life savings cards, guys, this is such a great way to introduce people to the opportunity. Go to www.90forlifecards.com, www.90forlifecards.com, and make sure that you have all the tools necessary for you to get started with this business. All right, so what have we talked about so far tonight? Guys, we've talked about the reason why you build it. We talked about your belief level. We talked about you maximizing the opportunity. And we talked about making sure you have the tools necessary. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to invite people to look. Just invite people to come and look. I look at this business like a piece of art. Guys, it's not our job to get people to like our artwork. It's our job to get them to the museum. You parade them past this exhibit, let them stare at it for 30 minutes. Because, guys, my presentation was 24, 25 minutes long, and I was goofing around with you a little bit. Okay? You let them stare at it for 30 minutes, and then they can decide whether or not they're in or they're out. In my mind, I don't care who signs up and who doesn't sign up. My job is to get people in front of the opportunity. And when you're inviting people to look, less is more. Okay? Less is more. The approach that I always use, that I tell people, I say, listen, if I could show you a way to make money handing out something for free, would you be interested? If I could show you a way to make money handing out something for free, would you be interested? Who in their right mind says no to that? Everybody goes, yeah. I said, well, then here. I give them a pharmacy card. I explain how it works. And I say, I'm looking for people that want to get paid to give these cards away for free. And then if I have time, then I go into a business presentation. Whenever I travel, okay, 99.9% of the time, somebody is sitting next to me on that plane. And when I see somebody on the plane, you know, I'll simply say to that person, so is Milwaukee home or is Minneapolis home, depending on where I fly? Okay, it happened to me the other day, and this lady said, well, no, actually, Kansas City is home. I said, really, what were you doing in Milwaukee, business or pleasure? She said, well, I was here for a meeting, business. I said, really, what do you do? Now, once she got done telling me what she did for a living, what do you suppose she asked me? Well, since you asked. Now, anybody, in any conversation that you have, the person who asks the questions is the person who's in control of the conversation. So she just asked me a question, didn't she? I'm not going to answer her question. I'm in control of this conversation. So she says to me, so what do you do? I said, well, let me ask you this. I said, if I could show you a way to make money handing out something for free, would you be interested? Now, what do you suppose? Her name was Jen. I didn't find out her name was Jen until we almost got off the flight. But what do you suppose Jen said to me? No. Jen doesn't know me. So she said, yes. Now, your friends are going to go, what? What are you talking about, dummy? What are you talking about? But people who don't know you, they're going to go, yeah, how do I get in on that? I said, Jen, that's what I do for a living. I get paid to give stuff away for free. She goes, how does that work? Pulled out my card, explained it to her. I said, I'm looking for people that want to do the same thing. So now, on a flight from Milwaukee to Minneapolis, 43 minutes, wheels up to wheels down, do I have time to go through a presentation? Took me 12 minutes. I pulled out a tablet business presentation. I didn't pull out my laptop or anything. I pulled out a tablet business presentation, which you guys have those little tablet BPs, okay? And I just pointed. Everything you saw in the presentation tonight is on one piece of paper, front and back. All I did was point. Now, guess what Jen did for a living? She's in the seminar business. She gets buyers and sellers together. And she said, Steve, would you be interested in speaking at our next seminar? I went, yeah. Yes. Yes. I was on the plane anyway. I just asked the right questions. If I could show you a way to make money handing out something for free, would you be interested? That's why you need those pharmacy cards right there. Okay? Now, here's what you want to build, you guys. You want to go out there and build senior executive marketing directors. Now you're like, well, wait a minute, Steve, that's the third position. What happened to regional and what happened to executive? Don't care. I don't tell anybody about those positions. When somebody new that I bring into the business comes in, this is what I tell them we're going to do. We're going to go build this right here. And they're like, okay. And you know why they say okay? Because they don't know the difference. They don't know anything. I said, you need to become a senior executive marketing director, and we're going to do it right now. Now, to become a senior exec, you have to have $250 in personal qualifying volume. What that means is $250 has to come through your ID number. In other words, your personal products, the people in your family that are using it, any retail customers, $250 in personal qualifying volume. You have to have 3 regional marketing directors on your front line. That's 3 people who each have signed up 3. Okay? And then you have to have $5,400 in total group volume on levels 0, 1, 2, and 3. So you take everything that happens on levels 1, 2, and 3, plus your volume, it has to total $5,400, and you are a senior exec. And right about this time, they are deer caught in the headlights. They have no clue what I'm talking about. But they don't need to know what I'm talking about. Once you become a senior exec, now you are in a position to start picking up a $100 coding bonus. So in other words, guys, when you become a senior exec, you step over the line, okay? You've got this new fancy title, senior exec. From the very next person that you bring in with that CEO package, you're going to get a $100 fast start bonus. You're going to get a 30% quick start bonus, and you're going to get a $100 coding bonus. And then when that person goes and gets others, who get others, who get others, who get others, who get others, you're getting 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. That's the position everybody needs to be in. Now, how do we go get this done? Well, and those of you that are taking notes and everything, guys, I'm telling you, everything that I'm talking about is right here. The scripts, everything is right here, okay? All right, here's how we track it. Now, on the back of the Quick Start Guide is this blitz chart. Now, you're not going to use this because it's too small. If you go to your resource center, which is ygresourcecenter.com, ygresourcecenter.com, you're going to click on Quick Links, and then you can print out as many of these blitz charts as you want, okay? For 22 years, you guys, this is what I've used to track my organization and to hold me accountable on a daily basis. All right, let me show you how this works. If you take a rock and you throw it into the middle of a calm pond, what's going to happen? You're going to see some ripples, right? All right, your job, okay, say you're brand new in the business. I'm going to hand you a blitz chart. This is you, right in the middle of the blitz chart. Your job is to create that first ripple, which means you're going to bring 3 people into the business. Okay? Let's say you sponsored Lisa, Mary, and John. You brought those 3 people into the business. Now, when Lisa, Mary, and John come into the business, what are they going to be taught to do? The exact same thing. We're going to hand them a blitz chart and say, you are responsible for this first ring. You need to get 3 people in the business. That is going to create your second level. 3 who just brought in 3. Now, what do you suppose these 9 people are going to be taught to do? The exact same thing. So these 9 people each get their own blitz chart. Say, you guys, you're responsible for just this inner ring right here. You go get your first 3 people. That creates your third level. You just added 27 new people to your organization. This entire blitz chart, if you add up all of these circles, there's 39 new people that just joined your group. Now, just because my blitz chart is only large enough to show you 3 levels, it doesn't stop there. Because what do you suppose these 27 people on your third level here are going to be taught to do? The exact same thing. That builds your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th levels. Okay? Now, when you sponsor Lisa, Mary, and John, every single morning when you wake up, this blitz chart should be what you focus on. Because your goal is to make sure that all of these circles are filled in. So you're going to wake up and you're going to see, you got Lisa, Mary, and John. So you're going to call Lisa and say, hey, Lisa, are we all set for that lunch meeting today at noon? Who are the people that you're going to invite? Because we got to make sure we get your first 3. Lisa, are you all set for that home meeting at your house tonight? 7 o'clock, right? Who do you have invited for that meeting? John, Lisa's doing a meeting tonight at her house. Mary, Lisa's doing a meeting at her house tonight. Those people who can't make it to your lunch meeting, make sure you get them over to Mary's house tonight at 7 o'clock. All it is air traffic control. And your goal is to make sure that Lisa, Mary, and John each bring in their 3. Now, if Lisa right here, you sponsored Lisa, and all of a sudden Lisa stops returning your phone calls, you can't get a hold of Lisa anymore, you need to go to Walgreens and buy some whiteout. And you're going to find somebody else. Lisa, for every step that you take, I'll take 2, but you got to take the first one. I'm not going to drag you across the finish line of success. Either you're in or you're out. Boom, next person. Now, watch this. When you fill out this blitz chart once, just once, you've got 39 circles here. If everybody has a personal qualifying volume of 150, your personal qualifying volume is 250. You obviously have 3 who each have 3. That's a total volume of $6,100. You only need $5,400 to become a senior exec. So if you fill out this blitz chart once, you promote yourself to Senior Executive Marketing Director. That's why when I bring a brand new person in the business, I don't even talk about regional. I don't even talk about executive. Because if you can fill this blitz chart out, everything takes care of itself. You're automatically going to get promoted to regional. You're automatically going to get promoted to executive. And I know some of you are going, Steve, what does all that mean? It's all right here, right in the blitz chart, or right in the quick start guide. Here's our comp plan. Find the title, figure out what you have to do to get promoted to that level, and here's how you get paid. It's all right here. Just boom, right here. So now, you're sitting there as a senior exec, and you're going, okay, I filled out the blitz chart once, and I got promoted to senior exec. Why won't I do that again? So you grab another blitz chart, and you go, I'm going to do that all over again. But now you're a senior exec. So now you bring in 3 more people. And I don't know who these 3 people are, but guys, you're picking up $200 a pop. $100 coding bonus, $100 fast start, not to mention the 30% quick start. So now, these 3 people here, whoever they are, what are they going to be taught to do? The exact same thing. So it's like, okay, whoever these 3 people are, they get their own blitz chart. They need to fill out the inner circle. That fills in your second level, but look what happens. You get $100 per person now, in addition to the residuals, because you're coded to these people. Now, what are these 9 people going to be taught to do? The exact same thing. So this person right here, they go get their 3, who get their 3, who get their 3, and you pick up $100 per person. Enjoy the view. How'd you like to make $100 bills that fast? Yeah. Okay, for effect, we're going to do it again. Here we go, everybody. Now, these 27 people right here, what are they going to be taught to do? Same thing. So when this person right here gets their blitz chart and they fill out their first ring right here, that means 300 to you, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, 300, to you, to you, to you, to you, to you. Can you see how we've got people in this industry, guys, that make over 7 figures a month? Over $1 million a month. $1 million a month. Network marketing is a whole bunch of people doing just a little bit. And if we can teach people how to go out there and just do a little bit, go get 3. Teach them how to get 3, who get 3, who get 3. I've seen so many people in this business that are so focused on customers. It's like, who cares about customers? If you sign up a customer, if you sign up 1 person as a product user, okay, you've got 1 product user. If you sign up 10 reps, you're going to have 100 product users, okay? Or maybe 1,000 product users, or maybe 10,000 product users. Just go out there and get a few people. When I was in the long distance business, we made about $12 million when I was with Excel. I had 29 customers. That's all I had. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and people I did business with. My dry cleaner was my customer. You know why? Because I prefer to do business with people who do business with me. If you're not going to be my long distance customer, if you're not going to use my cell service, I'm not going to use your dry cleaning service. Use the same theory here. Do business with people that you want to do business with. Guys, and you're not going to get everybody. And please, please, please understand that. You don't need everybody. Guys, when I got started in this industry 22 years ago, all right, my number one prospect, okay, the person who I just knew was going to sign up into this business was my sister Robin. My sister Robin is an on-air radio personality in a little town called Hoopeston, Illinois. Does anybody know where Hoopeston, Illinois is? You know what you're missing? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Bears fans down there. That's what you're missing. Okay? I thought my sister would be phenomenal at this business because she's an on-air radio personality. Okay? Everybody knows who she is. Not that she knew so many people, but everybody knew who she was. Okay? It was Robin in the morning. She used to tell me that she did the morning drive. Now, those of you who know Hoopeston, Hoopeston is a town of about 7,000 people, okay? So I'm not real sure how you can have a morning drive in a town of 7,000, right? It's the morning tractor drive or something, I don't know, okay? So I drive down to Hoopeston, which is about 3.5 hours one way to show my sister this business. Not only would she not become a rep, she wouldn't even be my customer. She wouldn't even be my customer. And I remember driving back to Milwaukee, hating this industry, hating this business. Couldn't believe I got suckered into it. I drove directly over to my business partner's house. His name was Pat Hintz. I drove directly over to Pat's house. I threw a bunch of stuff on his desk, and I said, this isn't going to work. He goes, what do you mean? I said, how am I supposed to get people that I don't even know when my own sister won't become a customer? And he looked at me, and he goes, so what? I said, what do you mean, so what? He goes, who are you going to talk to today? I said, I'm not going to talk to anybody today. I'm going to take my ball and go home. Let me tell you guys the reason that I'm standing in front of you 22 years later. Pat sort of leaned back in his chair and he threw a pencil up on his desk and he looked at me and he said, you know, there is no way that this company is going to pay us $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $100,000 a month for it to be laid down easy. And I will never, ever forget that. You guys, of course your best friends are going to beat you up. Of course your family members are going to give you a hard time. Of course shipping is going to lose your order every now and then. That's why we're so profitable. Of course those things are going to happen. But I will tell you this, you guys, every bit of broken glass and barbed wire that you have to crawl over to get to where you want to be in this business, it's worth it. It's worth it. Do I need my sister as a representative today? Do I need my sister as a customer today? Do I still love my sister? Let me tell you a story about my sister. I'm going to tell you this, and you guys can believe it if you want to or not believe it if you don't want to, but I'm going to tell you anyways. I truly believe that we all have people in our lives who are very, very close to us who don't necessarily want us to succeed. Do you believe that? Yes. Okay. My sister was one of them. My sister would just assume that I'd be teaching school today. Still am. Bigger kids. Bigger kids. My sister Robin has been in 5 other multi-level programs since I got started back in 1990. None of them mine. None of them mine. Okay? Now, you sit back and say, how in the world can that be? And the only way that I can answer that question is this. If you take a bucket of crabs, okay, follow me on this, okay? But if you take a bucket of crabs and you set that bucket near water and just sort of step back and watch, eventually the crabs are going to try to scale the side of the bucket to try to get out. And just before one can reach up and pull himself out of the bucket, another crab will reach up and snatch him back down in. You guys, I like to consider myself one of the crabs who got out of the bucket. And I'm looking down at all my friends and my family members going, get out of the bucket. My hand is halfway down. I'll help you every step of the way. But to people like my sister, sometimes it's easier for them to reach up and try to snatch you back down to their level than it is for them to work real hard to come up to yours. Deal with it. I have no explanation for it. Deal with it. Now, about 3 years after my sister just refused to even be my customer, my sister called me up and she asked me for $50,000. My sister owns a clothing store in Hoopeston. And the building across the street was being sold, and she wanted to buy the building across the street. Now, you can buy a whole building downtown Hoopeston for $50,000. And I just thought to myself, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to save you money on something that you are already using. It doesn't cost you anything, and you said no to me. You won't even be my customer. But then you turn around and ask me for $50,000. So you know what I did? I gave her the money. I gave her the money. I gave her the money. Okay? Just because she doesn't get it doesn't mean that I don't get it. Now, I own a clothing store in Hoopeston, and I think there should be a sale. I think there should be a sale. It's okay. It's really okay that you don't get everybody. What's fundamentally wrong with our business is I tell you guys to go out there and talk to the people that you know. The problem is that those people know you. And therein lies the problem. Sometimes it's easier to talk to people you don't even know. So when you guys walk out of here tonight, go talk to all your friends and family members and get all your disappointments out of the way. Okay? All right, let's get out of here tonight, you guys. All right, have a game plan. Guys, make sure you order your pharmacy discount cards. Go to www.90forlifecards.com. Order those tonight. Get those in your hands tonight. And those of you who have these cards, which I'm not even going to say anything about these cards because these cards are really old, whoever cards these are. You girl, get rid of these things, okay? If these cards are sitting on your desk, they're not making you any money, okay? So make sure you get rid of these cards. Make sure that you have the ability to get free shipping on all your products. All you have to do is have a $50 auto ship, business volume auto ship profile set up. If you want the quick start bonuses, make sure you have $100 in auto ship. And those numbers are so ridiculous. If you're, I mean, healthy start pack, guys, is 115 right there. So whatever. If you want to qualify for the car bonuses, the coding bonuses, the global revenue sharing, and the stock options, make sure that you're CEO qualified. Get on my training call every single Sunday night at 8:30 Eastern Time, 212-990-8000, the Monday night leadership call. Fill out the blitz chart and teach others to do the same. Simple, 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 simple. Everybody in this room is a winner. Think big. Everybody in this room is a what? Do I have to start over? I said add a 0. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that? Because I'll tell you what, if you guys don't believe that, nobody else will. You guys have a $1 million business sitting in front of you. Some of you have a multi-million-dollar business sitting in front of you. The key is you need to go get it. Because nobody's going to give it to you. But you guys already know what to do. You're already successful. That's why you're here. Somebody said to me one time, they said, well, what does the average person in Youngevity make? I said, there aren't any average people in Youngevity. Right? Because we'll go out and do what the average person won't do. All right? All right, here we go. 4 things you must understand. Number 1, understand that this is going to happen with or without any of us in this room. It's going to happen anyways, guys. It might as well happen underneath us. Number 2, understand it's just a great idea. Guys, we don't have to do any of the work. Doc's already done the work. All we have to do is just go out there and tell people to take this stuff. You're going to feel better. Take it. All right? Number 3, understand that you must create the why. The how doesn't matter. If you have a strong enough reason why, a big enough reason why, you'll figure out the how. And number 4, understand that it's possible. Whatever your goals and your dreams are in this business, understand that it's possible. Why? Because other people have already done it. Every single morning when you wake up and you look in the mirror, this is what you should see. That's Emily's new friend right there. You know what that little kitty cat is saying right there? What lucky son of a gun is going to run into me today? Every single morning when we wake up, we've got a chance to change somebody else's life. I'm going to jump on an airplane tomorrow morning. If the person sitting next to me is nice, I will change their life. If they're mean to me, I will not talk to them. All right, here we go. 3 things you must do. Number 1, just do something. Just do something. Just do something. Do something with your business every single day and good things are going to happen. Number 2, keep it simple. Don't worry about the bumps in the road. George Bernard Shaw said that the people who make it in this world are the people who look for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. Go create your own luck. And number 3, make a commitment to it. Not only to yourselves, but to your family. And I've got a saying in this business, and that is you don't get into Youngevity until Youngevity gets into you. Literally. And I know I am in big-time enemy territory up here. But if I cut myself, I would bleed Green Bay Packer green and gold. I know, we're friends tonight, aren't we? But on this side, it's Youngevity green, blue, whatever colors we are. Green and blue, okay? Guys, don't miss this. Don't miss this. We have, for Pete's sake, this is as hard as I ever work. People say, oh, Steve, you travel all over the country, thanks for doing it. It's like, oh, okay, but this is all I do. I get to hang out with you guys, and say the same thing over and over and over again. I get to hang around self-motivated, positive people that want to make a change in their life. If you weren't that person, you wouldn't have stuck around this long. Or maybe you were just too embarrassed to get up and leave. I don't know. Not sure. But this is who we get to deal with. We get to hang around people like this all the time. And I'll tell you, if you don't make a penny from that, your life is still better. Your life is still better. But don't miss this. You guys have something so incredibly special just right in the palm of your hand. In your lifetime, you're going to get a couple of chances to make a lot of money. My question is this your first or your last? And I don't know about you, but I'm not taking any chances. I'm just going to go outwork this thing to death. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is this. Be here 1 year from today. Just be here 1 year from today. If you're here 1 year from today, good things are happening in your group. Never quit on a bad day, and just be here 1 year from today. They're going to happen. You guys, here's how you can thank me, because I know a bunch of you are going to come up and say, oh, Steve, thanks for coming over. I know it's just, Milwaukee, blah, 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 blah. Here's how you can thank me. Take the information that I shared with you here tonight and apply it. Don't walk out of here and go, oh, Steve's kind of a fun guy. He's kind of cool to hang around with. That doesn't mean anything. Take the information and apply it. Take this information, set your goals. Upgrade to the CEO package. Make sure you have your tools. Make sure you've got your pharmacy cards. Make sure that you understand getting promoted to senior exec. Use the Blitz chart and teach others to do the same. Go out there and get a handful of these simple system quick start guides and teach this amongst your organization. And guys, watch your business grow. Ted and Nasima, come on down here for just a second, you guys. All right. You've got great leadership in the cities here, guys. Weekly business presentations. Do we have those set up?
We had a monthly one last month.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say Sherry attended. We only had 3 people, but
okay.
I will have it more frequently.
Do that.
It hasn't worked out yet.
We have weekly presentations on the telephone calls.
Okay, you're doing weekly conference calls and things like that. Yeah. Guys, if this group, and I don't know where everybody's from, I don't know how far you guys drove here, but you guys have got to have a weekly meeting in your town. I know 2 hours to drive down here is ridiculous. You're not going to come and do that. But in your town, you guys have got to have weekly meetings set up. Have a weekly business presentation, have a weekly training class. And guys, at our meetings in Milwaukee, we started a meeting at 7:30. We were completely out of the building at 8:30.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
Will you come if I have a meeting, at least to begin every month?
Every month, just once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it. Get it set up, you guys.
Okay.
Get it set up. Have some fun with this thing. Don't get too depressed when people don't come in. Don't get too excited about the people who do come in. Keep an even keel, and let's just go have some fun. Just go have fun with your business, and everything else will take care of itself. Anything else you guys want to end this with? You good to go?
Yep, good.
Product. Well, we got product though. If you want to get rid of some of this stuff.
Yes, if anyone wants product to take home today, I do have it at better than the retail price.
I need this.
So if you do want something that you want, the prices are written right there. But also I wanted to let you know on Monday at the Falcon Ridge Middle School at 5:30 registration and 6 o'clock lecture time, we'll have Dr. Joel Wallach and Brandy Brogdon over here. Dr. Wallach will be giving his health and wealth seminar. Do not miss it. If you can rearrange some things in your schedule, if you're tied up that evening, you want to try and catch this seminar because it's very powerful. Invite your guests. Invite your guests. Let Dr. Wallach do the work. By the end of that evening, you follow up with your guest and they'll want to sign up.
Now, Steve was mentioning that, the weekly meetings are very important, which we need to do more of that here. But there is a few things that I do. We have Dr. Joe Wallach on the radio.
Yep.
If you have a Droid, you can download the app. It's right there. You can get people to listen to it. Dr. Peter Glidden on an app. Tom Chanel on an app. And same with Ben Fuchs. All of those people are Youngevity people. They'll teach your prospects why they need the products. They're the ones. It's up to you to get the people in the door and get them interested in the business. Follow Steve. The plan that he has here works.
Yeah.
Good enough?
Mm-hmm.
I got you guys way out of here before 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Way out of here before 3 o'clock. All right, everybody be safe on your way home, okay? Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming out.